wonderful people. This week and next week, we're going to be talking about cars. Uh, so, cars in the US, for most families, it's about their second most expensive thing that they pay for. Your average American family spends about this much on transportation. And so transportation could be car or the train or buses or whatnot. Um, but for most American families, at least a good amount of this $9,000 is going towards the cost of cars. I think you guys know public transportation is very, very cheap, so it's definitely not costing anywhere near that much. So the fact that this number is so big, that's because uh, your median American family has at least one car in the family, if not two. Okay, so um, for the next 2 weeks of assignments that have anything to do with cars, you guys are going to be looking at the same, you're going to use the exact same make and model for all the assignments for the next 2 weeks having to do with cars. And you're going to look at that make and model, but for 3 different years. Okay, so what do I mean first by make and model? So when you talk about cars, the make of the car is what is the company that makes it. So that would be Ford, GMC, Honda, Toyota. So those are all different companies that make cars. So that's your make. And each car company has several different lines of vehicles or several different, I guess, types you can say, or models. So for example, Honda has the Civic, Honda has the Fit, Toyota has the Camry, Toyota has the Corolla. So each different car company has different models of cars which they sell. Okay. So you're gonna pick a make and model. If you can't figure out a make and model you're interested in researching, because maybe you're not really, you don't really know that much about cars, I'm gonna have you pick this. You're gonna pick a 4-door Honda Civic LX sedan. So Honda would be your make. This is your model, and then each model comes in different. Comes into even like more different styles. So like the Civic comes in the LX style, the DX style, the CX style. Yeah. So once again, you're gonna pick a make and model, and if you can't think of one for yourself, just use this one. But whatever you pick for this assignment, you're gonna use that same make and model for the next 2 weeks on any of the car assignments. Okay. So after you pick your make and model, you are going to write it here. Okay, so you're going to be looking at a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a new version of that make and model. Okay, so this is, if you wrote Honda Civic LX here, then you're going to look at it, a new one of them, a 5-year-old one, and a 10-year-old one. So whatever make and model you do choose, make sure it has been around for at least 10 years. Okay, so you're going to be basically looking up statistics about these 3 years for your make and model. So Google, Google the new version of that make and model, and you're going to be looking up how many miles per gallon does it get. So this is how many miles can it travel on 1 gallon of gas. Okay, So you're going to do that for your 2020, your 2015, and your 2010 version of that car. Okay. So then here you're going to estimate how much do you think once you get a car you'll drive in a year. In Massachusetts, people drive about 12,000 miles per year. So pick whatever number you think you will drive in a year. Write it right here. Okay. And then you're going to use this number to calculate. You're going to use that number and your miles per gallon right here, plus how much gas costs to figure out how much money would you spend if you owned a new 2020 and you drove this many miles in a year. Okay. Sure. Why don't we do an example real quick? So let's say that you think you're going to drive 12. Let's say you think you're going to drive 12. Give me a second. I'm having a hard time changing the color on this. Okay, so let's say that you think you're going to drive 12,000 miles in a year. Let's say, for example, that your car, whatever car you looked up, let's say that it gets 40 miles on 1 gallon of gas. Okay. I'm going to end up just multiplying these two. And so when I multiply those two, so this is 12,000 miles times 1 gallon divide 40 miles. This miles will cancel out with this miles. And then you just put into your calculator 12,000 times 1 divide 40. And that will equal ooh, did I just make a mistake? Yes. Oopsie. I just made a mistake. 300. Sorry. 300. Okay. And what's the word left? The word is gallons. Okay. So, if I drive 12,000 miles with a car that gets 40 miles per gallon, I can expect to use 300 gallons in 1 year. Okay, and in 2019, this was the average cost for gas in the United States. So $2.60 for 1 gallon of gas. Okay, so if it costs $2.60 for 1 gallon of gas, if I multiply this, once again, gallons would cancel out with gallons, and put that in your calculator, and there you go. That's how much you would expect to spend on gas in 1 year. So you write that right here, and then do the same thing for your 2015 and then your 2010. Okay, so now you know how many miles per gallon your 3 different cars gets. You know how much you should expect to pay on gas for each of those 3 different types. So then let's look up how much would you expect to pay on maintenance for those 3 different cars? Okay, so if you go to this website right here, then you're able to basically look at how much you can expect to pay uh, for maintenance on your car. So we scroll down here, look up what your particular car is. So let's say we did, the Honda. It's this number right here. So this number right here is what you can expect to pay for 10 years of maintenance if you bought the car new. Now, new cars take less maintenance than older cars. And what it has been estimated that happens is that the amount of money you need to spend on your car in maintenance goes up by about $150 each year for the first 10 years. So, right here, you're going to write down how much will you spend for 10 years of maintenance on a new car. So that number right here that you get from this website. Okay. And then these equations right here will help you calculate how much would you expect to pay for 1 year if you owned a 2020, 2015, a 2010. So this number right here is this number that you wrote here. So put this number in here, divide by 10 minus 750. That'd be your maintenance for a 2020 car. Take that same number, just divide it by 10 without the minus 750, and that's how much you could expect to pay on a 5-year-old car. Take that number, divide it by 10, add 750, and that's how much you can expect to pay for 1 year of maintenance on a 2010. Okay, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, you should come to class because we're starting to hold class. You all should have probably gotten your schedule from your advisor sent to you. For those of you guys who have a block for my financial math class, it will be held on Monday and Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. For those of you guys who have me for C block, that'll be held on Tuesday and Thursday from 1 to 2 p.m. You can also come to my office hours, which is from 2 to 3 o'clock on Monday and Wednesday, and then from 3 to 4 o'clock on Friday. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you later.